Welcome, everybody, to this collaboration between the Shakti Awakener podcast and Love Seed channel.
Back again.
Back again. If you didn't know, obviously, this is my sister, Ruxandra. I don't need to introduce you again to her, but if you're new here, I will again. She is a steward of the Jinkies and she's also a fashion stylist, which is why I have to thank her. Let's begin with a little celebration because this girlie has been doing what no other man on earth has been doing.
Thank you.
Which is fashion styling according to your Jinkies. Which, if you don't know what the Jinkies are, just go back a little bit in my channel and you can see the interview that we did about the Jinkies. It's a revolutionary way of working with your DNA and with your body and with your gifts. And today she's helping me emanate queen codes.
Yeah,
through my
millionaire
outfit.
frequency.
My millionaire frequency through my outfit, which let's begin introduce us to just a little bit like today's episode is not about fashion styling, but let's just give a little introduction because we are excited about it.
So what are you wearing, Queen?
What I'm wearing? Yes, I am wearing my sunglasses inside. I don't usually do this, but this is what I feel like the field is calling me to because this is my millionaire frequency. So I'm wearing BGS sunglasses. If you're from Bali, you know what that is about.
It's a cafe where they sell very cool
sunglasses.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Vivienne Westwood necklace.
From my Teresa.
Yeah, thank you, my Teresa. I love you guys. You
Our
can sponsor us.
shopping destination.
I am wearing bracelet and earrings Swarovski.
Yeah.
A beautiful top sponsored by my sister from Manière de Voir. A brand from Indonesia called 3 Monkey G's, if I say that correctly. And then some New Balance sneakers. What are you wearing?
Beautiful.
And tell us a little bit about this fashion styling stuff.
Well, I just want to say that the jewelry is very beautifully enhancing your skin tone and your millionaire frequency. And this is also something that I am guiding women into wearing. I feel like jewelry is the most powerful, magnetic, activating thing that you can ever wear as a woman. And especially if you're a white woman, gold is like the best for your color tone. I'm also wearing silver today, which was just like what I felt called to wear. So I'm wearing some earrings from my Teresa, my normal jewelry that I have. I don't have to speak about it. It's just like no brand. The top is Totem. Actually, it's a beautiful swimsuit and their brand signature. It's actually with this neckline.
Just kind of giving me choke me vibes.
Choke me, daddy. So, like, yeah, it's a bit sometimes uncomfortable, but
we are working
we're working with it.
It's called very elegant.
Yes.
Exactly.
We said at the same time. And then my usual fake leather skirt, which is from Manière de Voir. And my shoes, my beautiful Gucci shoes. Yeah.
Okay, so check out my sister's fashion styling page. It's called Ruxandra 1103.
Yeah.
Like the agent, but she's 1103.
It's linked in the description of the video.
Yeah, okay. Now that we give a little shout out to her, let's move on to the topic of the day, which is very exciting. We just wanted to come and share our very powerful love life lessons.
Yes.
Because we have been going through them in a good way. I mean, there's no good or bad, but in a very powerful way that I think is worth to be shared with the world, because I feel like many women are struggling right now, or not struggling that deep, but like in this period of like not really knowing how to go about their dating experiences and how to process them and how to choose men that are aligned for them, which I'm gonna do after this another podcast episode about how to choose a man that is aligned for you. And let's get started about how was your summer. How was was it the summer of love or was it the summer of fuck? Was it the summer of sadness? Let's see.
It was a bit of all, less the F word, because I choose so.
Yeah.
But I want to say that these lessons are not only for women, but also for men, because this is something that I see that men are going through a lot. So we are going to start with lust and desire because this is the most, I would say, controversial aspect of love. And my summer was all about lust and desire. Like in the beginning of the summer, I want to say that I thought that I'm this high value woman who is just like containing her sexual energy, and she knows how to work with it, and she's not giving herself to men. But deep inside of me, in my subconscious, I thought that I need to give my body first so I can be valuable. And even though I decided within myself that I'm going to declare to everyone that I'm going to meet that I'm dating for marriage, in the beginning of the summer, I was not empowered in that kind of belief. So therefore, the universe presented me with a man that actually challenged me to see that I'm still playing that kind of like princess behavior of like chasing, lust, desire, connecting with men on this kind of like very low level of like root chakra, survival, animal instincts rather than the heart. Of course, I'm pure in my heart and I had the most pure intentions.
I think even if you say this, she's still very pure. Like, it's not so exaggerated.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. It's not so exaggerated, but basically at the beginning of the summer, my higher self told me that if I want to unlock another level of abundance in my business, I need to be intimate with someone. So I did that. And after that, I decided that I don't want to be intimate with someone anymore. And I want to kind of like save myself because I felt that my life force energy is so precious and I'm literally activating men without a session. So when am I gonna get paid for that?
AKA, you should be paying me for this. You know, the temples. Like, this is what we were doing in the temples
Yes.
thousands of years ago.
As
So
goddesses, you know.
bring an offering, like a Gucci bag or something.
Yeah, exactly. On the first date, when you're texting me already, when our eyes lock in,
You're
already-
ordering my Teresa.
Yes, yes, you're already on the Gucci bag. Well, then I went to the gym and I met like this beautiful man. It was probably like the most beautiful, attractive man that I've ever seen in my life, and that's why I felt actually unworthy inside of me to receive him. And we connected on this last level, and thank God that he didn't take it further and he actually kind of like rejected me, which hurt on the spot. But I'm very grateful for him, and if he's watching this, he will know that. Thank you. You completely changed my life. And I feel like I became such a powerful woman because after that experience, I was like, damn. Like, oh my God, I'm like shocked to see this part of me. Like my ego was crushed. I was very hurt and I felt very rejected. I could feel like maybe I will never attract someone like him, and I don't even know if that is gonna happen or not. I feel like the bar was raised very high for the little girl inside of me who didn't feel worthy to have this kind of like man on the outside, you know. But it also made me realize, you know, how I was like, I needed to shift into my heart.
Yeah.
And this is what happened. Like I stayed with myself, with my own process, and this happened throughout all of the summer. And recently I attracted another man like 1 month ago, and he tried to be intimate from the very first time that we met. And I said no. I had very clear boundaries and he pushed them. And then I said this multiple times. And in the end, I'm so grateful and proud of myself that I wasn't intimate with him because I realized that he's not for me.
Yeah.
And a part of me almost, again, fell into that trap, but I learned my lesson. It's like I was of course sexually attracted to him and I had that desire, but I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I know that you're not gonna give me anything else extra than what I'm giving to myself.
Yeah.
So I decided to pour all of this life force energy into myself and just be immersed in my daily self-pleasure practices, which is amazing. Like, I feel so fulfilled.
Yeah.
It's insane.
She's like, bottom line, I don't need men. I'm kidding. This is not what we're talking about. Actually, this is the opposite of what I'm preaching, but it's very powerful, Boo. And I just want to say I'm so proud of you because I could feel how you shifted, like you said, from like still parts of you that were in the small little girl inside of you, and now you literally became the queen.
Thank you.
And I'm not the only one who noticed that. Like, another
Thank you.
friend of mine actually said that she's embodying the queen, and I'm
A male friend, which is
Yeah.
amazing to hear from.
yeah. So I'm so proud of you, and
Thank
I'm
you.
celebrating you. And may
Thank
this
you.
be a reclamation for all women who are struggling to say yes to their desires, even if that means to say no to somebody else. Because I feel like sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, because as women we are so emotionally attached and we are so kind and so
Yeah.
pure in our hearts that you think it's like you're trying to fight with your own consciousness, and you think that you need to do something to please that man or to get into a relationship with him or to make him love you more. And this goes even for women in a relationship, you know. But in the end, you know the answer in your womb, and you know that that is the true path that you need to take, what is happening inside of your womb and what your feminine is calling you to do. And sometimes that may be a bit disruptive for somebody else, but that is the reclamation that you need to do for yourself to shift into your queen energy.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. And this is the work that you're doing with other women. You know this very well.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Of course.
I feel like for me, if I may
Of course. How was it for you?
go along,
Let's go on the second lesson.
let's go on the second lesson, which I think for me the lesson was a bit reversed, in the sense that I closed myself off from being sexually intimate with men for quite some time. And then I reopened the door and I started to meet men and have beautiful experiences. But then again, I was like, okay, I want to do this only with my partner, you know, like with a partner that I will be stable with. And again, for some time, I closed myself off, and then the opening came again. And for me, I realized that as
I have a
woman-
question.
Yeah.
How did you feel the opening? Like, when do you feel the call? So other women will understand what it means.
Exactly. I know it can be confusing because you think, should I have sex? Should I do that? And sometimes you are thinking from the mind and you shouldn't actually do it. And then there was this instance in which there was this 1 week that my sexual energy was very active. Like Luxie knows that I was just like,
She was something else.
I was not me. I was not me. I was a lion in heat during 30 degrees in summer. And in that week, I was just like, I mean, I was ovulating, obviously.
Yeah.
But I realized that in general, my sexual drive is pretty high. Of course, I keep it in check and I do the practices with myself, and it's so juicy and so yummy. But in that week, I could just feel this fire burning, and I was almost like, oh my God, I need to share this with another. But I didn't think of it so much. I wasn't like seeking every day on Bumble or on like a dating app. I wasn't looking so much on the outside of like, I need to have sex with somebody or else I'm not fulfilled. But by the end of the week, I happened to meet a guy that I really got along with him so well, and we just had this very wonderful chemistry and sexual energy. But at the same time, he made me feel really safe and secure, and he was really admiring me and really like looking up to me and seeing me as a goddess. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I feel like doing it. Like it was like when I first met him and started talking with him, and that, like the flow of energy, I felt like this opening and this message from a higher source of like, yeah, you need to do this, you need to like do this, because something is gonna happen through this interaction. And it was almost again a battle with me of like, yeah, but I told myself that again I'm gonna keep myself only for my next partner, for the one who is gonna come and put a ring on my finger. I'm not sure, I mean, I'm kidding, but like who's gonna be my boyfriend, be my partner, be my life partner.
So
anyway,
it was like an inner battle.
Exactly. So for you, it was like different, you know, kind of like the inner battle to say no. And for me, it was the inner battle to say yes.
Yeah.
Because I felt, again, bad going according to what I initially put on for myself. This is why I'm never saying that again, like I'm never doing this, because you never know what is going to happen.
Exactly.
But anyway, so I said yes. And it was an amazing experience. Like I lead him into Tantra, and we had a very, very powerful experience. Like it was one time, but it was just like, actually 2 times. I mean, actually, if you think about it, I'm not going to give the details, but like...
It was very healing overall.
It was very healing. And in that, let's say, session, because it was kind of like a healing session through sex and intimacy, I also awakened a lot of energies inside of myself, a lot of new gifts of connecting with him, and a lot of healing also actually from my mother's side. I during sex, and I mean, if you know a little bit about sacred sexuality and tantra, when you work with these energies, you literally awaken past life or like wounds from your maternal lineage. And obviously I've been doing this for some time, but things with my mother came back again, like from my mother, that I inherited in my womb. And it was also very juicy and yummy to explore different sides, like a little bit my tantric side and the spicy side. So to close off this like story, I want to give off like some advice for women who aren't sure if they should go on the path of celibacy or not. Because I was very much deep into my celibacy path multiple times. And it is the first time that it was very useful for me is when I got into Tantra and I discovered all of these things about my body, my sexuality, my womb, my relationship with men that, you know, I started to heal. And in that period, which was 9 months, I needed to stay celibate because I needed to literally let go of all of those wounds and attachments to men that made me constantly attract emotionally unavailable partners and men who just didn't honor me at all to the level that I wanted. And so that was useful for me to cut off those bonds. And then another period of 1 year was actually very hard for me, and it was almost like a dry period that made me realize that I need to open myself up to men, or else I'm gonna literally desiccate into a body like
A raisin.
a raisin. That will be me as a raisin. And so I think it's very important to tune into it and feel for yourself. And I also think it's important to have somebody to guide you in this path.
Of course.
Because I can literally tell you what I feel for you and what is
Yeah.
best for you, and then you can stop making mistakes
And
because
excuses.
mistakes, because you can choose the wrong partner to share your sexual energy with, and you're just continuing a
Yeah.
cycle. Or sometimes you may become too constricted in your sexual energy, and you don't allow experiences to come through you and for you to learn through other men. So there's a sweet spot right there that you can feel into, and I think it's important to see where you are with your development and with your relationships.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I know
This is-
I've
Sorry.
talked a lot, but I do want to share one more thing, and I think this is
This is so Libra.
I do want to share one more thing. Because I think I swear this is not just my podcast, but I think you will resonate with this. At the beginning of the summer, I met a man who gave me more materially than I ever received from other men, and really spoiled me like the true queen that I am. And another lesson for me, and I think for both of us, was to actually understand how to claim our desires for being financially provided.
Yeah, this is a big thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like even now that we talk about this, I kind of feel like some emotions, even though, you know, it's like we worked on ourselves to open up to this, but until you are in that spot when you are like ready to be provided by a man, you don't know how you're gonna react. Like your nervous system needs to feel safe for you to receive if you never received from a man in that way, because our father didn't give us in that way. Like he gave us and he's giving us in other ways, but not in the way that we want to receive from a man, you know. It's like not that kind of like safety and love and provision, because we grew up being just like independent women who need to provide for themselves. And since we were like 7 and 4, we were saving money to go on vacations, and we were buying our clothes and our makeup with our own things, you know. And we were saving like so much money to buy all of our things. Like our parents never bought us makeup or clothes or whatever.
I mean, it was one time per year, and even then it wasn't like a big load of like, oh, let's go to the nicest
100
places,
euro
you know.
in Romania.
Probably at the time, you know, even
Yes.
less actually.
Yes.
And I think it was such an awkward time, you know, to understand how to navigate your desires that we love fashion, as you have realized in the beginning of the video, and how to actually feel safe to receive this type of things from somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Like never accept a man who will give you less than what you're giving to yourself. So if we are buying to ourselves this kind of like designer clothes, and not because we want to show ourselves or for our ego, just because we love it, you know, this is the pure essence of our soul, then of course I will demand a man who will give me that and so much more.
Yeah.
And up until now, I didn't receive that. So I think that there's still some opening for me to be done.
Definitely, we are on in that process, but I think it's good to understand that it took a lot for us to even start to say these things to men.
Yes. Oh my
Like to
God. Like to
even,
admit it. Like I still, like in my nervous system, I'm still sometimes like, you know, I can
yeah,
feel the expansion of that. Like
yeah,
I feel uncomfortable, but I'm
yeah,
still saying it and owning it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I think I became more confident in saying how I want to be treated by a man. Like when I'm speaking about him and I'm asking him about what do you feel about the roles of the feminine and the masculine, or like a man and a woman in a relationship, and how do you feel about traditional roles, and saying that I want to be provided and I want to be supported and I want to have the freedom to just do my business as a passion and just be free and get to serve the world without any constrictions, and
Yeah. And
in
especially in the beginning, you just want to tend to the fire of love. Like you just want to be with your partner the whole time, you know, and just,
yeah,
even if you have time apart, you just want to literally tend to that aura and the frequency that you're creating together. So that will nourish you both. And then from that space, you can create again in your business, not from this kind of like lack, or I need to make money, or I need to provide, I need to be of service, I need to have a job, you know?
yeah, or even from independence, because when you get into a sacred union, I even feel it energetically right now. It's like you are entering a path that not many have entered,
Yeah.
and you need to have a high level of devotion to that entity that is formed between the two of you, because there's a higher entity, as we know from Egyptian alchemy, that is forming between the two of you. And if you just get into a relationship and you're still holding on to your independence and being like, okay, I'm gonna do my own thing and not care about the wholeness, you're not fully committed to that path actually, and those wounds are gonna be showed up in your life, are gonna be seen in your life, and your partner is gonna reflect that. You're gonna start to feel dissatisfied with what he's doing without seeing if you're not actually fully committed to that and to your
Yeah.
relationship.
Powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I also want to connect this with my latest lesson, which is about attachment and not needing a partner. The paradox of that, like the paradox of not wanting a relationship, is that it will bring you that relationship. I'm still in the process, like I just recently integrated this, but my soul and God told me that this is the highest path. Like with this last guy that I was kind of dating somehow, uh, I was so needy and attached in the beginning, and I could see that this was my behavior with all men, because I thought on a very deep level that maybe he's gonna leave and I need to hold on to him, you know. And then we had kind of like a conflict, and after that conflict, after I spoke what I feel, and I openly shared my emotions, and I let myself be seen very vulnerably. It was like very uncomfortable. After that, in that day, literally a few hours later, I shifted. Like guys and women, like when you speak your emotions and you speak your most vulnerable self, your DNA will make a shift and your identity will change in a moment. So after I shared how I feel, that I'm like needy and attached and everything that I'm feeling towards him, I was like, actually, no, I'm not desiring a relationship anymore. I don't care if I'm gonna be with you or with someone else. I mean, I care, but at the same time, we are all united. And I had very deep experiences in which I felt that it doesn't actually matter who is my partner, as long as the container will be of love, like the most high pure frequency of love. Because I realized with the last man this summer that he can literally love anyone. He doesn't need to be perfect. He doesn't need to be in all of the ways that I thought that he needs to be. I can literally love and accept anyone. But he was like, maybe all of these men were not like for me, and they were not ready to get to that level of
Yeah.
expansion. So the lesson here is that I actually shifted in my identity, that I don't care if I'm in a relationship or not, because I love myself so much and I don't want that love or validation from the outside. I'm not craving it anymore. I'm not like going on the outside to chase it like a princess as I was
Yeah.
doing 3 months ago. But as Indra said, I'm like really embodying that queen frequency that is like she's just like sitting on a throne and she's just like receiving it, and if she's not receiving it, she's okay with that because she feels anyway whole and complete within herself with God. And I feel like my connection with God allowed me to actually feel so loved by the field and the whole universe, and to feel like the breath of God. A little child, little Gucci child of God.
You're so funny. Yeah.
How do you feel about this? Because I know that you're in your very big longing of a desire of a relationship.
Actually, I feel like I'm in the similar space of you, because even if I do desire it, and trust me, I've been wanting it for like what, 24 years almost. Okay. Um, I I release the attachment to it, because I feel like the latest love experiences, again, as God has given me, is like, again, surrender and surrender, and don't say no to something that you don't know what is, you don't know what you're gonna receive from God, you know. Like, I really understood how my queen energy works as well, and I'm working every day to embody it. And I was definitely very attached to the idea of a partner before, but now I'm like you said, kind of detached from it, because I learned so much, especially this summer, from my own experiences, and I understood that I don't need to do anything else than what I'm doing right now, because it's gonna come in the perfect time, and in the end, I'm just gonna enjoy life as it is and as it comes.
That's really a powerful statement and energy to have, because that is the most magnetic siren frequency.
Yeah.
And this is also available for men. Like this is very it's like it's bringing you a lot of like clarity and direction and a lot of like material abundance, because you're not attached to an idea of I need to have a partner, I need to be in a relationship. You're not needy, you're not codependent, but together we are creating interdependence. So this means that we are kind of like independent on our own, but when we come together, we bring our own individuality and we create this beautiful aura, this container of love. And this is what we are helping people
People do.
do, yeah, in our containers, in our mentorships.
Yeah, this is exactly what I will write a post about tomorrow. Yeah, this is very
Sweet.
powerful.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching this podcast episode, or listening if you're listening on other platforms. And you can find both of our works linked in the link in the description box below. Feel free to check out our mentorships and one-on-one spaces. And as always, we'll be here with more juicy, yummy wisdom.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.